Nobody warns you about that moment. There is no countdown. No email notification arrives to say, "Heads up, your world is going to shatter tomorrow." You wake up, brew a cup of coffee, and check your phone. And then, boom, a tweet about tensions between the United States and Iran escalating to a red alert, a mass layoff notice as the economic crisis spreads, or simply a divorce decree sitting on the kitchen table. 1 minute, the ground beneath your feet is solid. The next, you find yourself in a free fall through an abyss you were never prepared to fly in. Most people, when hit by this, do one of two things. They either scream and collapse entirely, or they wear a mask that says, "I'm fine," while rotting and breaking on the inside. Both responses are deeply human, but neither will save you. There is a third way, a path not for dreamers, but for the soldiers, the slaves, and the emperors who once stood on the brink of losing everything. That is the way of the Stoics. 1. Feel the pain, but do not feed it. Many people mistake Stoicism for turning yourself into an emotionless rock. They imagine that when faced with a financial meltdown or the loss of a loved one, a Stoic must stand there with a face as cold as stone. They are dead wrong. Marcus Aurelius wept when his children passed away. Epictetus endured the agonizing chains of slavery. They didn't teach us how to become robots. They taught us how to be disciplined human beings. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have the right to suffer, but you do not have the right to become a slave to your pain." When you read news of U.S. Iran tensions, fear is natural. When you see a politician make a shocking decision, outrage is a normal chemical reaction in your brain. Let that fear pass through you. Acknowledge it. Yes, I am afraid. I am uneasy. But this is where discipline steps in. There is a massive divide between feeling anxiety and living in anxiety. Are you spending 5 hours a day scrolling through forums, reading World War III scenarios, and imagining yourself penniless? If so, you are feeding the monster. The event is what happened. The story you tell yourself about it is what you write. An economic crisis is an event, but the story that "my life is ruined, I will never recover" is a choice. Cry if you must, grieve if you need to, but do not turn a single cut into a lifelong execution. You hold the pen. Do not let fear write the next chapter of your life. 2. Shrink your world down to today. Why do we collapse? Because we try to carry the entire future on our shoulders. When the world feels shaky, your brain starts doing something incredibly toxic. It projects. It takes one bad afternoon today and stretches it across the next 10 years. If gas prices rise today, your brain screams, "I'll be homeless in 5 years." If a politician you hate wins an election, your brain says, "The world is going to end during this term." You cannot bear that weight. No one can. That is why you feel exhausted, even when you've done nothing. You are fighting the ghosts of 2030, while your body is still standing in 2026. Marcus Aurelius wrote 2,000 years ago, "Confine yourself to the present. Not this month, not this week, just today." Ask yourself, what do I need to do right here, right now? You don't need to solve the Middle East crisis. You don't need to save the global economy. What is your job today? To go to work? To care for your family? To read a book? Or simply to take one deep, steady breath? Modern psychology calls this chunking. Stoicism calls it awakening. You can endure almost anything if it is broken into small enough pieces. We only break when we face the totality. Stop trying to carry the world when you are only being asked to live through today. Tomorrow will bring its own problems, and when it arrives, you will have the same tools to deal with it that you are using right now. 3. Separate what is in your control. There is a core Stoic practice I need you to burn into your memory. Separate what you can control from what you cannot. It sounds simple, but practicing it is a brutal war. In times of global chaos, humans tend to bleed energy in the wrong places. They rage at political decisions. They obsess over the news cycle. They argue about things they will never change. No matter what happens out there, the fact that you wake up early to exercise, learn a new skill, or treat your family with kindness remains inviolable. So, why are you spending 80% of your mental energy on things that don't know you exist? Every second you spend complaining about things beyond your reach is a second stolen from the only territory where your effort actually makes a difference. What is in your control? Your reaction to bad news. How you save or spend during a crisis. The moral values you choose to uphold when everyone else is in chaos. Your very next move in your career. Epictetus was a slave, yet he lived in absolute freedom because he understood one thing: they could chain his legs, but no one could chain his mind unless he allowed it. The world may be in turmoil, and superpowers may be playing their Game of Thrones, but the kingdom within you, your thoughts and your actions, must remain an impenetrable fortress. When you stop fighting the unchangeable, you suddenly unlock a massive reservoir of energy to move the needle on what actually matters. Do not waste a single drop of sweat on a world that is indifferent to your existence. 4. Return to your purpose. When life slaps you across the face, the word purpose might sound like a luxury. You are just trying to survive, just trying to breathe, and here I am telling you to find a purpose. But listen closely, survival is not enough. After the storm, you need a place to go, or you will spend the rest of your life wandering through your own ruins. The Stoics called this living according to nature. This isn't about picking flowers or chasing butterflies. It's about living in alignment with your highest, truest self. Hardship has a miraculous power. It is a brutal filter. It strips away all the hollow decorations of life. When an economic crisis hits, you realize that lavish parties and designer labels don't matter nearly as much as your mother's health or your child's smile. When the shadow of war looms, you realize that simple human kindness is the only currency that counts. Difficulty will return a more authentic version of you. Do not let the pain make you callous. Let it make you pure. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, wrote in his journal every single day to remind himself to be a good man, regardless of the wars or plagues ravaging his empire. He didn't look for purpose in the world outside. He found it in how he treated others and how he kept his word. If your world is dark today, ask yourself, no matter what happens, how do I want to be remembered? As a coward who did nothing but complain, or as a man or woman who stood firm in the storm to be a pillar for others? Conclusion: none of this is easy. If anyone tells you that Stoicism is an instant painkiller, they are lying to you. This is a relentless practice. This is going to the gym of the soul every single day. Stoicism does not promise that your life will be easy. It does not say you will avoid crisis, and it certainly does not say you will not feel pain. But it promises you something far more important. It promises that you will possess a self resilient enough to endure anything the world throws at you. The world may collapse, but you will not. Thank you for walking alongside the Stoic path. If this content has served you during these turbulent days, please hit like and subscribe. Together, we will build this inner fortress, one day at a time. Leave a short comment. I choose to control myself as a commitment to your journey of practice today. I'll see you in the next video. Stay disciplined.